So if you watched last week's video, you'll know that we were talking all about celebration and the importance of it in the goal setting process. And I alluded to that my goal setting process has celebration baked right into it. So this week, I'm gonna share with you the exact template that I use with my clients when it comes to goal setting. Now, there's lots of work that goes into getting to the place where you can use this blueprint, but I'm gonna share with you today at a high level. So if you're ready to dive in, you will have everything you need to create really meaningful, values-driven goals. And if that sounds like something you're into, make sure to stay watching. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristin Constable, and I'm a leadership and business coach to values-driven entrepreneurs who want to activate their inner leader so that they can show up and play big in their business and their life. And this channel is dedicated to supporting people like you do exactly that. So if you're new here, or even if you're not new here and you haven't subscribed yet, just hit the little bell so you get notified every Wednesday when a new video comes out online. So let's dive into this goal setting process that I use. It's pretty simple, and that's why it works so well. But there's a few components to this blueprint that I use that really helps you extrapolate a meaningful goal, which I call values-driven goals, as opposed to end goals, which are goals that we kind of think we should achieve, but it's outside of ourselves. It's not rooted in what matters to us most. So the first step in the goal setting blueprint is to look to what value would you like to strengthen. If you haven't done work around your values yet, I've got a great values discovery exercise, which I'll link below as well, because you want to do a lot of work around, well, what actually really does matter to you? And our values evolve as we evolve. So just because you've done values work before doesn't mean you shouldn't do it again, because all of the time they're evolving, they're deepening, and the more connected you are to your values, the crisper your values-driven goals will be. So step one, decide on what value you're really committed to strengthening. Step two is to do some inquiry around what is your deepest desire here. So let's just use an example. Say if the value you're trying to strengthen is around meaningful connection. Do some inquiry work around, well, what does that actually mean to you? If you were to actually have meaningful connection in your life, how would it show up? How would it feel? How would it look? Get a real good handle in this section on the blueprint of what it is that you truly want when it comes to that value. The third part of the blueprint is probably the most important. The question in this part of the blueprint to explore is, what is stopping you from having this today? Now, it seems obvious, but if you had everything that you needed to make this happen, it would have happened. So there's obviously some either internal barriers or external barriers that are getting in the way of you achieving this goal. So this is the place to capture that. And it can be things like time, money, resources, but it can also be internal barriers like, I don't actually think that I can do that, or I don't believe that that's for me. All of these things are really important to unearth so you can start to do some work around them, and that's actually where the goals come from, is getting these barriers out of the way. The fourth part of the blueprint is around resources. So once you identify what these barriers are, what's getting in the way of you actually living into this value and this desire fully, you can look to, well, what do you need in order to accomplish that? So what gets in the way? What resources do you need? You can think of these as barriers and power sources. So your resources are your power sources. These can look like people. So it might be a guide, it might be a coach, it might be time to actually work on whatever you want to work on. You want to identify everything that you need that will support you in overcoming those internal and external barriers. Okay, and then the next part of the blueprint is where you actually get to create your milestones. So these are chunked down goals to help you achieve that deepest desire. So you're not just going to go straight to the deepest desire. It's what do you need to do along the way to make that happen? Now, in the blueprint, there's 4 spots. That's literally just a matter of space. You might have 16 milestones. You might have 2. It is totally relative and up to you and your goal. So what you want to do here is you don't want to get hung up on needing to know the whole path or every single step. All you really need to know is the next right step. and you need to take that next right step with determined action. So in that spot, there's a place for what is your next step, what is your next milestone, and there's also a buy when challenge. Now, this is part of just really good goal setting practice, is to put a buy when to things. If you don't have that, it won't give you the timelines, it'll stay open-ended. So that buy when is really important, and my suggestion would be make the first milestone so easy and so actionable that you can get some momentum and actually complete that buy when rather quickly. From there, you'll know what the next right step is, and you'll actually have some momentum built rather than starting from scratch. Now, the fourth part of the blueprint is where you'll see the celebrations baked in. So the celebration part of the blueprint is super fun, and what you'll notice is it's not one big celebration at the end when you get to that deepest desire. It's celebrations all along the way. So every time you complete a milestone, successfully complete a milestone, there's an opportunity to celebrate. And this is really important because it allows you to build momentum and feel good and energized along the journey. And you're not just waiting for this carrot at the end. That is the thing that most people get wrong when it comes to goal setting, is they have this big, massive carrot at the end, but they don't have any breadcrumbs along the way. So celebration baked into the milestones is a way for you to have some breadcrumbs along the way and to celebrate as you go. Celebration can look like anything. It doesn't have to be huge and grandiose. It could literally be a hike one afternoon in your favorite spot, or it could be treating yourself to your favorite meal. It can be small or big. It's totally up to you. All it is an opportunity for you to acknowledge how far you've come and to close the loop, as we talked about in last week's video, on that part of the plan so you can move on to the next. So I hope that was helpful. The blueprint will be available for you to download below, and same with that values exercise. That would be really helpful for you if you don't know what your values already are. So good luck with everything that you're out to accomplish, and remember that you are worthy and deserving of it all, and all it takes is a well-crafted plan to make it happen. Best of luck, and we'll see you here next week for next week's video.